this event. A special breakfast briefing, jointly hosted this time by ISBA, and I'm Bob Wootton, I'm Director of Media at ISBA, so I'm responsible for the media and advertising practice at the advertiser organisation. Our first two speakers today are going to be challenging you to evaluate what you believe about the outdoor, and particularly where the outdoor industry is going in terms of digital, from a couple of different perspectives, from an agency and a contract perspective. And then we're going to be joined by our guest of honour, Lord Sugar, for a Q&A session. On to our first speaker. Martin talks of Draftfcb. He's the President of Digital and their Global Digital Lead. And his role is to excite people about the outcomes that digital can enable. Today Martin's going to give his insight into the evolving shopping ecosystem, including the role digital outdoor advertising can now play in shopper marketing strategies. Or that's what it says here. Martin, the stage is yours.
Over the years, technology's failed or struggled to keep up with the imagination of advertisers and marketers and brands. But I think that's what's happened is that's very much changed now. Now that technology has become so good, there's been exponential growth of computer power, means that we hold incredible power in our smartphones, we have tablets, we have digital screens that I'm going to talk through some of the things you can do with those. So amazing technology now. So now it's more a question of whether our imaginations can keep up with the technology, which presents a really exciting moment, I think, in the industry's time. Certainly I'm very excited by it. I'm going to go through 8 principles I think are quite important and how we can appeal to the caveman instincts through this new technology. First one is, not surprisingly, keep it simple. The second one is about recent information. We all have something called the recency bias in us, which basically means we give far more, if you like, we notice information that's the most recent to our decision-making point. We give it more authority, even though it may not come from the most authoritative sources. So it's really important for brands to give information at the nearest point to a decision. Third one might be surprises. You know, surprises are 3 times more motivating than expected content and expected rewards. If you get a surprise, you tend to tell people about it. And of course, screens can deliver surprises in many ways. But some new technologies to help deliver additional surprises might be things like geolocation. Fourth thing is location. Obviously, screens are really locational based, clearly. What you can do now with screens, though, is issue particular and specific content to one screen as opposed to the next screen, as opposed to the next screen. So you can give really localized information. Personalization, this big move to one-to-one communications is one of the big trends in marketing, of course, and very powerful, makes for extreme relevancy. 7th of 8 is high touch. Although as you may have gathered, I quite like my high tech. I recognise that as cavemen we're pretty high touch. We still like to drag back our proof of kill to our caves. We like to touch stuff, we like to smell stuff, we're quite sensory beasts. And again, screens can deliver a sensory experience as well. A lot of digital technologies are beginning to deliver that sort of experience. And finally, have fun. I mean, fun's a great age-old instinct to play, to have fun. That's how we learn, experiment. And it's always as well to remember that. And the whole movement of gamification I'm sure you've heard about is a very motivating factor in all that. So if you add all that together, what is that sort of telling us? Well, a lot of what that's telling us is that we have a tremendous opportunity to make a connection with customers through these screens where perhaps we didn't before. So, you know, this can be a real emotional connection you can create. And almost the technology is getting so good that you can take technology out of the picture and just think about how you want to connect with customers, because pretty much anything you think of, you can pretty much do. So technology is not a barrier anymore. And really the call to arms, if you like, is to invest in creativity now. And not get so hung up by the technology. There's never been a better time for us to get in touch with our customers in a caveman, so we should take that opportunity.
Really, the technology is deceptively simple, very, very simple. All we have to do to make this work is we plug and play. So we have no need for any Wi-Fi or USB or WLAN, and I think that's the beauty of this. And what we've been trying to do over the last 3 or 4 years is try and educate the simplicity of this product. Digital out of home, we believe, works best in environments where there is dwell time. Where we've got a dwell time, we have a captive audience. Digital out of home today, in all this world of mobile and social, can be scalable, and it can be full motion. We all go on about the age of dialogue and the age of social and Twitter and Facebook. And I think we've said here the year of the mobile. But really, shouldn't it be the year of digital out of home? Because we're here ready to do it now. We just look at some of these figures to finish on. Globally, digital out of home revenues increased 15%, 6.97 billion in 2011. In the UK alone, advertising revenues grew 11.8% in the first half of 2012 compared to the same period of 2011. Anyone getting involved in digital out of home really must think about future-proofing their product. I'm glad to say that Lord Sugar's knowledge and heritage, he's really bringing that to digital out of home, and I think now we really are at the cutting edge to move on in a good place.
You've got some fairly strong views about advertising and media agencies, and I wonder if you'd like to share them with the fellow advertisers in the room.
Well, I mean, the audience here is a bit young to remember me in the heyday, sort of dishing out a bit of a stick to the advertising agency world. My views on adverts are that they should be very straightforward and you know, clearly selling the product, and sometimes people get a bit sidetracked with creativity, for example, in order to go and win some award somewhere. Where's the bash these days where you will not go to? Is it
Probably
Cannes?
yeah.
In Cannes somewhere, yeah, and the funniest advert award. Customer in the end gets asked in the boardroom, did it actually shift any stuff for you? No, but we won an award for the advert. And you know, I make light joking about it, but I'll tell you, it goes on all the time. I think the biggest mistake that I've made is giving up too quickly on technology. That is the problem. I have, interestingly enough, tomorrow, Stephen Fry has come into my office and we're doing a television programme on business gadgets and gadgets generally, because he's a bit of a geek on gadgets, and so am I. And I will show him an Amscreen product produced in 1988, which turned out to be what you've got in your pockets now, called an iPhone. Turned out to be what was known as a Palm Pilot, which you may remember, and went on and sold 10 trillion million, whatever they sold of them. I was in an era at the time where every Amstrad product we produced, as we launched it, within a couple of months, it was selling at the rate of 100,000 a month. This product, the pen pad, which had a touch screen and handwriting recognition, oh, don't sound too clever these days, but trust me, in 1989 it was very, very clever. Didn't sell at 100,000 a month, and we ditched it. No, not we, I ditched it, because it wasn't up to expectation. So there's a classic example. And this product, which you'll see on TV, you know, you'll recognise it immediately as a Palm Pilot and as an iPhone and whatever, and we just didn't follow it through. Yeah. But I mean, as far as technology is concerned, it's racing ahead so fast at the moment that there's no end to where it's going to go. I mean, it really is no end to where it's going to go.